people, welcome back to Cast Central. We're going to talk in all things United. Alice, you just had glasses on. Why'd you take them off? You're on mute, by the way. Hey, my nan's got a pair of those glasses.
I just realised my mic was on mute. I was about to say they're so dirty that the screen actually looks better like this.
I swear now, my nan has got a pair of those glasses, and my granddad might as well, to be fair.
They are old lady glasses, but they're like the lightest, easiest ones to wear.
Oh, fairs. How you doing?
You know what? Buzzing after Sunday. I just think to win, for Amarin to win back-to-back league games for the first time at Anfield of all places, it's quite funny. To hand them 4 losses in a row, to say we're only 2 points behind you, like the amount of humiliation that gives Liverpool on top of the win for us. I just feel like there's not a better game to win. There's not a better game to win. Kick them while they're down, but we also get the bragging rights.
I've got an interesting stat that popped up yesterday. And I don't know if you know this. Since the Premier League, we have faced Liverpool 33 times, right? 8 of them are draws, so that means 25's left. How many times have Man United won at Anfield compared to Liverpool?
I'm going to say about 5-6 times.
Higher.
8 times?
Higher.
10 times?
Higher.
12?
14.
14 times, really?
14 times. It's just probably in the last decade, you could probably say they've pretty much probably about more. I would never have known this because there must have been an absolute spanking during the 90s, because whenever I watched us versus Liverpool, we won there a handful of times, just from what I can remember at that. Like, you know, Juanfield, whereas Rooney, who was the other one as well? I think, was it Berbatov potentially? Maybe. But yeah, the best part about beating Liverpool, again, is just derailing their season. You know, when we derailed the FA Cup run and all that kind of stuff, when they had that green with Ahmad's goal kind of sent them left. And then this time, that was great, innit? It was something similar, in my opinion. Something very similar.
We seem to show up against Liverpool when, like, at the right times. You know, like, I think there was a 2-2, like, in Klopp's final season where Kwanzaa made a mistake, and that was Liverpool dropping points at a crucial time when they were still in the title race. We're knocking them out of the FA Cup. You know, we're beating them today while they're down. It's like, Liverpool have humiliated us a few times, but we seem to like get them when they're down, which is good.
You know what's mad? I always find, in Ten Hag season, the first season, I was very confident we'd go to Anfield and beat them, because I thought we were just much better than them. They had a very ropey season and they battered us. It's like whenever we have high form or something like that, we do worse. But whenever there's like no expectation, United looks crap, worse, whatever, dusty, it's like United seem to turn up a little bit more. And it makes no sense. But same for Liverpool. You know, when Liverpool are pretty much amazing, I wouldn't say they always go and smash us at Old Trafford either. You know,
it's like a pressure thing. I don't know, like an expectation, because the pressure was on Liverpool. Like, if we lost that game 1-0 at Anfield, we'd be annoyed, but we're like, well, we were kind of expecting to not win at Anfield, lose 1-0. Like, you know, when we lost 1-0 to Arsenal, we're kind of annoyed, but like, we were like, the performance wasn't too bad. Whereas if Liverpool could play amazing football, but if they lose to Man United after 3 losses in a row, like, that's pressure. That's a different level of pressure on them as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. What would you say? Because obviously you done a live earlier. And you mentioned Turning Point, right, in your title. We was talking about that yesterday with me and Ty. With like, what's the turning points? And he had a few different ones to me. What was your ones?
I mean, my turning point, to be honest, that I mentioned in my live stream was obviously we've got 2 wins in a row. Sunderland, newly promoted side. I know they've been good, but you've got to beat a newly promoted side at home. Liverpool's a big game, but I do feel like we're up for the big games under Amarin. I said, for me, the real turning point will be Brighton and Palace and Bournemouth. Brighton, Palace and Bournemouth are 3 teams that we seem to struggle against in recent seasons. 3 teams that are the better mid-table sides that seem to outplay us. And I think if you get results versus the likes of Brighton, Palace and Bournemouth, they're 9 points that not a lot of teams would get 9 points against. So they are my turning points. And we've got Brighton next. And because I think we've only beaten Brighton once in our last 7 visits or last 7 games, which is nuts, that for me is almost a bigger test than Liverpool. Like, Liverpool's the biggest win at Anfield. But like, I think Brighton, where there's a bit of pressure on you, you're expected to win, but it's a tough game. That is it. Like, turning point for me, I was just saying in the sense of like, I've noticed that Amarin, the last 2 games, has changed it tactically. And it's not the most long-term sustainable change, but rather than, because for example, like I'm going to use the Burnley game and the Fulham game, for example. In the first 30 minutes versus Fulham, I thought we were really good. And in the first half versus Burnley, I thought we were really good. Then Fulham adapted and sort of started to press us high. And then Burnley came out in the second half pressing us high. And we were crap after that. Whereas I've noticed versus Sunderland and versus Liverpool, and you can't do this every game. You've got to, we've got to find ways to outplay teams. But with Le Mans coming in, we're now doing long balls up to Sesko in the Sunderland game. The long ball actually resulted in the Mbumo goal 2 minutes into the Liverpool game. It's like Amarin is trying a different way to build out. I still like to see someone like Maino in the midfield and actually use the midfield and build up, because we have this one way of building up and it's really predictable. But I was saying Amarin has done something a little bit different with Le Mans. And if Le Mans keeps this up, I think it could be potentially a turning point. Like, I don't have much, positivity around Amarin. I've not got much confidence in him. But a good goalkeeper, some small changes, it could be a turning point. But Brighton's the test for me.
Yeah, I think so as well. I feel like you can't do every game. Who was it? Was it Bournemouth or Wolves man? Or Gary O'Neill, I think it was. He was saying you can do this to a few teams, but you can't do this to all of the teams. See, this is why I look at Amrim and thinking my turning point is the tactical part as well. Like, as in, there's a few different things you can pinpoint it down to. The rival game, I don't think you can put that on Liverpool too much. My thing is you're right. It's the Brighton game. It's like, that's when you can look at it thinking, oh, there's a new, there's something brand new in it. Like, this could be the thing where United push on and go get a few more wins. Maybe United Strength can finally get a haircut. Do you know what I mean? That's long overdue. He looks like something like the Royal Guard in what's it called again? In a W, what's it called in Westminster?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know the name.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know what his name is, but you've seen his hair in it. It's mental. The guy needs a trim, but he needs to change things up again, because I like what he's doing. You know what I said yesterday? I'm not Dalot. I don't like Dalot. I think he's cheeks. But what he's doing is inverting him a little bit just to help out with Mount sometimes if he's out wide and stuff like that. And it's kind of working, but you're not getting the most out of our attack that way if that's going to be the case, because when it comes to attacking, Dalot's just passes backwards, let's be real. Or if not,
he's not a wing back. Like,
he's not.
Dalot in that first half was like Liverpool's best player for me. I was just like, everything's going, because the first half was good. The second half, I don't think we were great, but like the Liverpool goal was coming. But I thought Dalot was better in the second half defensively, because I think he just had to defend. But in the first half, I was like, this guy is Liverpool's best player. Like, he was just bad. And the Brentford game, he was awful, but he'd obviously been rushed back from injury. Dalot in a back four, solid player. I like him. Is he better than Mazraoui? No, Mazraoui's our best right back in the best four. But Dalot in a back five, it is just. I feel me being harsh on him, because I'm like, this isn't his position. But it is like, I look at Man United and I think, if Amarin is going to continue, I think what Amar provides at right wing back compared to Dalot at left wing back, it's just night and day. Or when Dalot's right wing back, it's night and day. There's certain games when you maybe play, against a Bukayo Saka, where you wouldn't want an attacking wing back. You'd maybe want a defensive wing back, of course. But I look at it, and I always said this, like, and people think I'm crazy, but I think Semenyo could play left wing back. He can play left 10, right 10. Like, he's playing deeper for Bournemouth this season, and he's like, even though his goal contributions are up because Kirkus has gone, he's playing deeper and carrying the ball. That I almost think, like, for me, if Amarin is to stay, bring me Semenyo, bring me Wharton, bring me, I don't know, Baleba. Not asking for much, but that's what I'd want to see.
We'll get on to Semenyo in a minute, to be fair, because he's been popping up recently. Actually, everyone wants him. I'm hearing a lot of, or reading, not hearing. Not even just Arsenal, but Liverpool. Like, there's a lot surrounding Liverpool and Arsenal, of course. Yeah, they do need him. They need a lot, considering the amount of money they spend. But my thing is as well, Dalot. I look at Brighton and think they're not as great or potent, shall I say, as what they have been in recent times. I think they're very hot and cold. Their away form's horrendous. I look at someone like Dorgu, who needs to come in and he needs to find some consistency for himself. So I don't want to see Dalot there. Because obviously, he likes someone that's going to do the line and put in a better delivery. But to be fair, his cameo, he put in a good couple of deliveries, to be fair.
Is better than Dalot for me, which is why I was quite surprised that Dalot started. Because for me, when I look at ball progression, that's where Dorgu's really good. It's the crosses that can frustrate me, but he's very good at carrying the ball up the pitch compared to like a Dalot. But then I think maybe Dalot is a little bit more defensively aware. But I think with Dorgu, we see bits of it, but it's not consistent. Whereas with Dalot, I think he's just trusted more by Amarin. But I still prefer Dorgu at left wing back.
I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, my thing is again, is he going to drop Maguire? Is he going to learn his lesson? Because I don't care if he doesn't drop Mason Mount, yeah, because Mount's doing what we know of Mount and can expect of him. He's keeping that narrow shape and da. I can see Sesko being on the bench again, which I wouldn't do, but he's going to do it. But my whole thing is Maguire. He had a good game against Chelsea. He tried to do the what's it called, high line with Maguire away from home against Brentford, and it went absolutely left. And Bayinde doesn't help. You put Maguire again in a side where we're looking to probably get on a front foot against Brighton, but they got players like Matoma, Welbeck. Actually, funny enough, their Gomez and Matoma is potentially out for our game, so that might nullify that part. But that's a game we
player this season.
Yeah. I think Euro needs to come back in this. It's like if you're going to change the back threes and stuff like that, you need to drop Maguire and use him in games where it's more suited to him. Like Liverpool, that's my only thing with Amram is like, does he learn?
This is the thing.
Does he ever learn?
We won, so he's not going to change the lineup. He's so Amarin. This lineup won. I won't change it. But like, there's certain games for Maguire, like you said, and there's certain games where I would have Dalot at wing back if we're coming up against difficult wingers and we know we're going to have less possession. There's certain games for certain players, and Brighton is a game for Lenny Euro that we need a bit of mobility at the back, and it doesn't have to be Maguire. I think Luke Shaw was pretty poor actually versus Liverpool. Like, put Lenny Euro at left centre back for Luke Shaw, because for me we need a bit of pace in there, and De Ligt, Shaw and Maguire as a three, it's not quick. So if you're going to keep Maguire, I would take Shaw out. I think Euro has to be in there because Euro's our best centre back. He had one iffy game versus Man City, and he can't get back in the lineup. But yet, Maguire's won the game, and he'll play the next game. Oh, but he scored a winner as well. But it's I like Maguire, but for me, if you're not going to drop Maguire, drop Shaw, because you need mobility in that line.
He's definitely not dropping Shaw. Hear me out. Put Euro at left centre back and put Shaw at left wing back.
I would like to see that. I
think Shaw's asked for that as well.
I'd like to see, because Luke Shaw actually, like, when you think of the best season under Ollie and even under Ten Hag when Luke Shaw was fit, when you look at those two really good seasons Luke Shaw had in the last 5 years at left back, it was mostly him and Rashford combining and stuff. But Luke Shaw, with the injuries, there's a concern of, has he lost that pace? Can he get up and down the flank? But Luke Shaw was really good when he could get the ball and drive forward. I want to see him tried at left wing back at least in one game.
Yeah. Or the other option is Mazraoui. What do you do with Mazraoui and now he's back? Because if you're going to do this whole, I don't mind the left wing back being a little bit more defensively solid, then the better option in the low is 1,000,000% Mazraoui. 1,000,000%. He is in build up, in passing, in tight spaces. You know what? Even delivery, because Dalot's delivery has been overrated for such a long time. He doesn't really provide much. I think Mazraoui is not exactly. He doesn't make as much great runs as Dalot, but if he wants to go forward, but one thing he does give you is just that if you want assurities that he's going to get back and he's going to do his job, then that's.
Do you know what I want to see? Is Mazraoui right centre back, De Ligt central centre back, and Euro left centre back. I think that's our best back three. That's what I want to see.
And I'll put Luke Shaw left wing back because I just think we need someone that's. You say Semenyo, and this is where I'm just going to put this part in. I don't see in a space, and it doesn't mean he's always going to be there because it's an option. I don't see in a space where United look at 80 million and say, I'm going to put 80 million at wing back. And also, when you look at Semenyo, he's getting rated because of the amount of goals he's getting right now. The way you play with Ahmad would be completely different if it's on the other side, on the left. You need width, in my opinion. Someone's going to be natural with a width. He's both footed. I don't look at Semenyo and say, you know what you're going to give me? Quality of delivery.
I think he's all right, but I think he's more of a pace and power kind of guy who likes to get a shot off rather than a natural crosser.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't look at Semenyo, and I don't think he'd choose us. I don't. You know what the mental thing is? Yeah, there's a space at Liverpool right now. There's a space at Arsenal in his preferred positions or position.
He's going Arsenal.
Why would he come to Man United and say, yeah, you know what plan we've got for you?
People said that about Cunha and Mbeumo though.
Yeah, but in Mbeumo, you're still going in an attacking space. You're not going out wing back. You're still going to be playing in a space where it's probably more suited to you. I don't think a player likes to hear, oh, you know what? I don't mind playing wing back, even though I'm a winger getting goals.
All I'm saying is, 4-3-3, Iriola comes in. You got Semenyo left wing and Mbeumo right wing. You've got Sesko or Cunha up top. You've got, Cunha can cover the left, Ahmad that can cover the right. We're in Europe, so we've got enough games to do that. That would be quite nice, but
the difficult part is if we're talking about turning points, if we're talking about turning points and we're talking about currently what the state could be at United, is we need, I suppose, talking about Semenyo and a new manager would be kind of like a clash, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because we're not really buying for what Amram needs, and probably I'd say United definitely need like imagine you somehow end up with Brentford's best player, Wolves' best player, and then Bournemouth's best player. All of a sudden, in actual attacking trio behind the striker, you're like, what? How did this happen? But in terms of wing back and Semenyo, I just don't see how United go for Semenyo. I think it's too expensive. I think it's too expensive.
Your dream left wing back, like not being realistic.
He's gone to Saudi, man.
See,
I like wing backs for being wing backs. I don't really care what they do defensively as much. If they're okay, they're okay. But I'm in a space in my mind where we dominate a lot of the ball if it is under Amram, right? In the future with proper centre mids. And I look at two wing backs. There's one, I think Teo Hernandez was perfect, not there no more. And the other one is actually DeMarco. I think you don't get a better wing back than DeMarco right now, because I just don't care about DeMarco's defensive positioning so much, because Inter build up, they're quite defensive. So DeMarco getting back and doing all that defensive duty work is, for me, it's not it. But DeMarco going forward is insane. See, me and you are both in the same boat with this. Alvaro Fernandez should have been here. He should have been our wing back.
100%.
Dorgu needs to prove himself, and he's still young. He can still. I'm not giving up on Dorgu yet, but he's a decent option to have on either side, right? I don't actually know.
Do you think?
I don't actually know who'd be left wing back, because we're gonna definitely be looking for one in the summer.
Nuno Mendes would have been the dream, but he's never
signed a new contract. Has anyone any option? Have you got any names in your mind?
I have a player I really like, but he's very injury prone, and that's Udogie. I think he's good when he's fit.
I've got another one. Plays for Ipswich.
Leif Davis.
100%. I like Leif Davis a lot. I think he's suited. He's one of them ones where I feel he doesn't have to. It's like Robertson when he was at Hull.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the same kind of thing. You know, we should have went. Yeah, Nori would have been brilliant, but not the case anymore. But Leif Davis for me.
Nori all summer, I was literally like, this guy, we should get him.
There's another one as well. Actually, funny enough, he's both footed. He's actually in our academy. He's actually played. I think, has he played a senior game yet? I think he was playing in our pre-season. I think Mantato can do that role.
He looks like he can do that role. I just don't want to put too much pressure on academy kids. But I think when there's a player that looks like the right profile, like I look at Shea Lacey.
That's a great name.
He's a good profile. Matson's a good shout. He's really improved at Villa. He had a slow start at Villa, but he's been quite good.
But they prefer, what's his name, Digne. He prefers Digne over Matson. I think Matson's definitely one. I wanted him when he was at Chelsea. They said 30 million.
They prefer Digne, but I think in a back five, Matson's better.
Robinson, he's kind of catching on now, isn't he?
Back four player as well.
Yeah, but
Dalot.
Imagine Robinson at wing back, man.
It's not wing back.
No, Robinson going forward. I don't look at his defensive quality.
I think don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's.
Technically, he's not all there.
It's also he's like nearly 30.
That's my thing. He's a little bit older, and I don't think I want to go down that route of a little bit. Like if you're 27, go get him. But if you're like 29, coming up to that kind, I think we're not going to have you for that long. We're going to have to be looking for another wing back in another 2-3 years, probably.
Do you know what shocked
me? When you rely on athleticism,
was Kenda picking Chelsea. When Chelsea have already signed Esteval, Garnacho, Gittins, all these names, and he picked Chelsea, and he's like, I'm going to go there in 2 years to play left wing for Chelsea. And I'm a bit like, I'm like,
no, but he wanted to play as he wants to play as a winger, not a wing back no more. I don't think anyone dreams of playing wing back unless you're a defender and you're like, I've got the license to go forward.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shit role.
Cambiasso is an absolute amazing shout. Juventus player.
He's fantastic.
He's brilliant. I don't really rate him defensively though.
I feel like I'd have a winger at wing back like Ahmad and I'd be really attacking, to be honest. I don't care about it. I'm like Euro. Left centre back can cover like nuts. Manjari right centre back can cover. The Lick centre back is solid. He can do the head in. Give me wingers at wing back.
Or someone that's just a natural wing back. That's why I say DeMarco. He's 27 years of age, isn't he? I think it's at a time where Inter Milan are going through a bit of something. Would he want a new test? I don't think you get anyone better in world football than that man right now for the next few years. Thinking I don't care what you do. In possession, you're fine. Technically, you're fine. Dead ball specialist as well. Help Sesko. My thing is quality of delivery from wide area. If we get someone a little bit too similar to Ahmad that wants to cut inside, all the time and want to get a shot off, then we're kind of becoming a little bit too predictable. DeMarco does the underlaps. He likes to shoot and he likes to cross. Wicked. He just needs a new hairline and he's a brand new man.
He's one of those, like, you know, I always say, you know, those players that have bad hairlines and stuff, they're almost underrated.
They're always, yeah.
Like, and Boomer, like,
Sadio Mane. There's a method to the madness.
I feel like there's pretty privilege in football as well. Like, because even players like Harry Kane, I feel like were quite underrated until he's gone to Bayern. Everyone's like, okay, no, he's actually just mint. Like,
yeah.
Like there is a pretty privilege as well. But if you're bald or you've got a bad hairline, like people aren't going to rate you until you start.
Yeah.
Like,
well, look at Arsenal fans. They talk about how beautiful their players are and all that kind of stuff these days online.
Aura.
You know what I mean? Calafiori aura. Oh my god! Look what he's possessing.
It's so cringe. Like I'm like, there's actually like middle-aged men. Like, oh, my player has the best aura. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. But yeah, See, the Steeler news come up from Pletigo again today, but it just seems a little bit more Florian Plettenberg. But it seems more of like an aggregator with all of this. I think United are interested, but I don't think United are going to make a move for Angelo Steeler. But it's nice to see the profiles I suppose we're getting linked to. As
we're looking at we're
looking at someone that wants to control the game and can pick the ball from deep and ping the ball from deep. Yeah, aura is a word I'm hating as well, Ed, to be honest.
That are good on the ball. Like,
basically,
no more Agates. Like, you know, Palhinha's been solid for Tottenham, but not the kind of player we want. We want to be linked to the Jao Neveses, the Angelo Stillers, the Adam Whartons. We don't want to be linked to
Anderson, man.
Yeah, Anderson's really good as well. We don't want to be linked to those midfielders that are just good off the ball, but like a liability on the ball. Like, we don't want to be linked to the Palhinhas or the Joel Lintons or the Agates. We want to be linked to, like, this guy is so beautiful on the ball. We need two midfielders. I'm happy to have one that is an off the ball monster, but at least decent on the ball, unlike Agate. And then I want like a Pedri, Adam Wharton type player. Like, we're never going to get Pedri, but you know what I mean? Someone that like, on the ball, you're like, yes.
Manu Kone, I've been screaming about this guy for years, man.
I did a video on him yesterday.
3 years. Yeah, I'll see that. Like, apparently we're tracking him as well. It's a good profile, right? But Manu Kone, I just adore this guy. What happened to the Edison links? See, people forget about Edison. Did he move anywhere or did he stay at Atalanta?
I think, did he go to Saudi or not?
I don't know if he did.
Atalanta this season.
I would love Tonali, man. But he's about to sign a new contract.
He just signed it. If we're talking like unrealistic, I'm looking at the likes of Tonali,
Bruno Guimaraes,
Tonali and Pedri. It's like my dream midfield duo.
Yeah. You know what? I know there's a lot of talk around Carlos Baleba and stuff like that. But for me, it's just, I look at who's going to partner Kobe and do best by them. And I think someone like Wharton does great by them. Carlos Baleba does great by them. Anderson. I'm looking at Wharton and Anderson. I would absolutely throw all the money, because obviously, look, Carlos Baleba will always have AFCON tax. Unfortunately, there will be times when he doesn't play, and we need someone like that in case we got absolute crazy fixtures in that period.
Yeah.
I think if you get a Wharton and an Anderson and Kobe, you've got the British core back. For me, you know, even if it's a 4-3-3 manager or it's a 3-4-3 manager, who's going to partner Kobe so Kobe can do a little bit of everything still?
All I'm saying is 4-3-3 with those three midfielders is insane.
That's England's future.
Like,
all of it.
Yeah, you know, homegrown, ticked, boom. Anderson, probably be the deeper one. Maynard and Wharton, midfield three. Because Maynard and Wharton are so good on the ball, we don't need to play over 10. We can have, sort of 6 to 8. Yeah. I'd love that. Like, I would absolutely love that. You know, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I just don't like 5 at the back. I want to go back to a back 4. I want to go back to a 4-3-3. I can't lie. I'm not feeling back 5s.
I hear it. A lot of us have put off. I wouldn't mind if it was a back 5 if we was controlling games and we was providing loads and loads and loads of overloads, because it wouldn't look much difference from a 4-3-3 if a wing back went or a fullback went forward or something like that. We're too busy in a period where, because of the midfielders we got, it looks heavily like a back 5 because we don't have all the ball at times, and it's never consistent. Do you know what I mean? That's why if you're playing Dalot and Mazarawi at wing back, it's like it just looks too defensive, man. But I wouldn't mind. I'm interested to see if there is Amram is to prove that he can be here and there is new midfielders. But yeah, man. See, no, Anderson's not in 6 in the Premier. Are you mental? I think Anderson could do anything.
Yeah, I think he could
do anything. 6, 8, 10, do it all.
Yeah, he's one of those. Because people used to say Caicedo isn't a 6. When Chelsea signed him, everyone was like, he's an 8, he's not 6. He's been a 6 for Chelsea. Enzo's been the 8, and Caicedo, the last year and a half, you can argue, has been the best player in the Premier League. And everyone thought he was an 8, and he was a 6/8. But everyone was like, "Oh, we think he's better as an 8," and he's proven it. And I think Anderson is like that. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Caicedo, but I think when I look at players that we need, like you look at Chelsea, what Caicedo's done for them, we need that kind of midfielder. And Anderson could be that. Tonali, I think, is that kind of player that Newcastle have got. He's obviously off the market, no chance. Balaba's been pretty crap this season, but I still think he can be that. And Adam Morton is like a Spanish midfielder, and I think on the ball, like I'm thinking it, like Casemiro, Bruno probably go this summer. Agate and Maino, there's still big question marks over the future. You know how we got Sesko and Bumo Cunha last year? I could see us this summer going like I don't think we'd get all 3, but going in for Walter, Baleba, and Anderson, and maybe getting 2 of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know what, we might even need 3 midfielders, but I feel like we can buy 2, but you can look within our ranks. You got your Shea Lacey's, do you know what I mean? You got all these your Fletchers and all that. There's a lot of rated borders. It's like go get one of them. Oh no, I don't care about Morgan Rogers. Big up Noah, man. What's the realistic, how realistic is it for us to even get Adam Wharton though? I think Anderson's much more possibility, but Wharton, Liverpool are chasing him, City are chasing him. Apparently Real Madrid and Barcelona are going to be chasing him.
I don't think we get Wharton. I think unless we got Champions League, which I think Wharton will go Champions League. I think you can get an Elliot Anderson if we finish Europa League. I think Baleba just loves us. And also one thing I find is with Baleba, I always find that African players love Man United. I don't know what it is. Whereas like with Wharton, he's got more maybe loyalty to Blackburn. He's not a Man United fan. He doesn't really care.
Arsenal, Man United, isn't it?
Yeah, they all support Arsenal, Man United, and a few Chelsea. But with Baleba, I'm like, he will want us because we're like, do you know what I mean? Whereas Wharton, I'm like, I don't know. I think we could get Baleba, and I think we could probably get Anderson, but I'm not confident on Wharton. I think unless we got Champions League football, which I don't think we'll get, I'm not confident on Wharton.
I think we can. I think, you know what? Opinions will change very, very quickly, right? If Man United was to go beat Brighton and get another result at Nottingham Forest.
That'd be insane.
Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden the narrative changes because a lot of these other lot are playing against one another in the top side of tables. Like Chelsea's got Sunderland, Bournemouth's got Sean Dyche's Forest at Bournemouth, Man City's got Villa. Who else is there as well? Who's in and around stuff? I can't really remember everybody else.
Also had the hardest opening 8 fixtures because we're the top 4 favourites are Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. We're the only team in the league that have played all 4 within the first 8 games. The 4 hardest teams. So I also think as well, like our fixture is meant to get easier, but then for Man United, the Brightons and the Crystal Palaces and the Bournemouths for me are the harder games than the Chelseas. I can't explain it. It's just the way they are. But we've had the hardest start to the season. Brentford actually are a bit better than I think everyone thought they were. I think Bruno's missed 2 penalties this season.
I said that as well.
We've had the highest XG. We could be on 2 more points right now, easily. A bit of luck with finishing.
Oh, you haven't been listening to me, have you? That's fine. It's fine. You don't have to. Hear me out.
Okay. So
we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot in some instances. Not getting Sen Larmans in earlier has killed us.
100%.
So all right, cool. Fulham game. We get that penalty, that game's buried. That's done. That's 2 more points. And also, Beyinde messed up for the Fulham goal. Why didn't you come out and just collect it like any other goalkeeper?
And the Arsenal goal. They would have scored a good goal.
I'm going to give the Arsenal goal. If we brought Sen Larmans in when we needed to, right, instead of longing it out, Beyinde doesn't do that stupid mistake and we draw. We lose against City, I reckon. It might not be 3, but it might be 2, but we're still losing. I think they're just better. Now, the Brentford game, 2 out of 3 of those goals, any normal goalkeeper saving them. I'm sorry.
The last one was atrocious.
It was not as bad. It was not as bad as I originally looked at it, thinking like, oh my God, look at the way he's got. No, that was just poor goalkeeping, That's one. The game, I think he could have played. But could he? Could have, should have, would have. Maybe. I don't think he did. But he didn't play, right? And you look at, he missed the penalty. So whether it's a draw or a W, the way I look at it is, it's either 1 point extra. No, sorry, it's either 1 point, we're getting a draw, or we're getting 3 points.
Performance-wise, a point. I just don't think we were good enough to win that game.
Yeah, but I think we were. I think we missed too much. I think we were missing too much at the same time. But even then, a normal goalkeeper, we still have 1 goal, they have 1 goal, whatever, and we missed a penalty. They're 2 goals. I think that game's either drawn. Whichever way you want to look at it, Man United could be on at least 5 points extra. 4 or 5 points extra from where it is now. Now, when you look at it from maybe that's how Amorim and the board has looked at it, they're like, well, if you look at it, what's the probability of Bruno missing penalties? And what's the probability that we didn't have a goal? That's on Amorim not selecting Larmans maybe a lot sooner, and probably INEOS not getting Larmans a lot earlier and just paid damn money and just get him in. It's not that much. We could have had a different situation where we looked at ourselves and we're in the top 4 and you're like, oh, wait, hold on. You know, Grimsby still probably happens because you're going to play your backup goalkeeper in. But Onana might not be in net if Larmans came in by that time, if you believe that Onana was going to go anyways. So in that notice, we should be in a Carabao Cup. Maybe. I don't know. Beyinde's better saving penalties than Onana. So again, could be a different kind of way.
Onana,
coulda, woulda.
So bad at saving penalties. Like the fact that he touched 4 penalties and they still went in.
Yeah.
I was like, I just said when it got to like the 12th penalty, I was like, Onana's not going to save any of them, so they're going to have to miss the target or wet out the cup to Grimsby.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just kind of how I viewed it. And you know what, right? When we talk about all these transfers and we say, how are we going to afford this, that, I think me and you both know INEOS are, especially Ratcliffe, is a dirty liar, as he would, as a billionaire would be, right? He just waffles. Man United have money. Do I think United are going to get European football this year? I think so. I do believe United will. They'll pull the plug if they need to go and secure that.
Is good enough.
It's good enough.
To get Europa League. I said this now. If Amorim does not get top 8, he should be sacked. And people are like, but if he came 9th, it's an improvement on 15th. But I'm like, we've got 1 game a week. You look at Ahmad, you look at Cunha, we look at Mbumo, Sesko. Our squad should be getting top 8 minimum. Like
I see that. Yeah, I think so. 1 game a week as well. Also, PS, you say Larman's coming in immediately, new country, league, everything. Look, I'm not being funny, but the Belgian culture and the English culture is not too dissimilar. The weather's not too dissimilar. The buildings are not too dissimilar. People speak English over there. And over here, everyone's got there's multicultural languages everywhere, right? I don't think you need 5 weeks to settle in. I'll be real.
Yeah, it was taking the mick a bit.
Yeah, I think Brentford. I can hear this. I think he should have He should have started against Brentford, and that was the biggest mistake. We could add more. But anyways, I don't think a goalkeeper needs adjustment to life. I think if you come from a different climate or different place in the
South
world,
America and you're 19, it's different.
Or even United States, like anywhere else, I think it's different, or Japan or wherever. But moving on from that is how are we going to afford all of this? Now, there's lots to talk about Bruno going Saudi, which would clean up a lot of the PSR. Any sort of PSR question marks, if there is any? I don't think so. But Marcus Rashford right now is on such a top form. I believe that INEOS and all that knew that this is probably going to happen when he does leave. He's going to be a top player, and he's going to this option of 20 odd million, 30 million. He was always going to kill it. Yeah. He was always going to kill it.
I said because I think the loan obligation or option is 26 million. I said they should have put it at 40 million. I think if he can play how he does to the end of the season, Barcelona will cough up 40 million, but I think it's 26 million.
Something like that. And that's an option. Can United say, no, you know what? We don't want you to trigger the option. We don't have to accept it.
But Rashford will not want to come back.
Yeah, he's not going to want to come back, but United are probably going to want to shift that, which is also 300 grand. But United have a great ability of Casemiro leaving, obviously, it's on a free. He's not going to get a new contract. Bruno Fernandes, whether it's 80 to 100 million, I'm going to say 80 million for the sake of it. And all his wages are going to go off.
100.
If he does go, I think he will go after the World Cup. I think it'll be time. It'll be the right time to let him go. That's already, you're saving pretty much 100 million there. And then you look at, I'm not trying to be an accountant, but let's go off of we're the broke gimmick, right? You got the summer budget plus the Rashford money. And people forget, Mason Greenwood, we have like Hoyland money, 40 million. They're going to trigger that, by the way. And also, people forget, Mason Greenwood, we got like a 40-50% sell-on clause to him. You think Marseille are not going to cash in at one point?
There's talk of 80 million deal, Barcelona interested, PSG interested. Either we have 50% of the whatever, and that's 40 million, or 50% of profit, but that will still be 26, 27 million if he goes for 80 million that will make in pure profit. So 26, 27 million in pure profit is like making 70 million off a transfer. When you think of it like that, you'd think, oh, you know what? Maybe INEOS know what they are doing. Maybe, you know, it's all kind of falling off. Yeah, Alvaro was a horrendous one, but I think that was gone because of Ten Hag situation. I don't think there was nothing was going to come benefiting of that. But United could literally generate about 200 million from sales alone. That doesn't include if we get Europe or Champions League. That doesn't include the summer budget in general from revenues and stuff like that. United should have a budget where you can go out and buy these. If you're going to go buy 80 million worth players like Andersons and stuff like that, there's no excuse why you can't go get me a left wing back or ourselves, a centre back potentially. Maguire contract,
Is it? Are they wanting him to sign because of the whole homegrown quota? I think so.
He's got to take a big wage cut if he signs.
He's not gonna take the wage cut. Watch, he's not.
He's got half his wage for me.
Yeah, he's not going to. I don't think he's going to.
But I think he doesn't want to leave because there's stories like, oh, Saudi offered Maguire 500 grand a week. It's like, no, they didn't. Maguire's agent planting that somewhere. They're playing games to try and get enough money. But realistically, no top club is going to offer Maguire anywhere what he's earning now unless he goes to Saudi. And he doesn't want to go to Saudi. You can just tell. So for me, I think it is we lower his wages and I think he eventually accepts.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't think he goes Saudi.
You can't go from 190. If he's going to chop it, it's going to go to something like, he's going to have to be above Euro, but below certain people. It's going to go around the 120. I think that's too small of a cut.
I think 120 is what he should be on, but I think
I think 120. He needs to take that much of a wage cut.
120 because also for me, he's going to be a bench player next season.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. But I don't think he should be in the squad at all. I think you should just let him go.
I don't mind him staying, but like he's not in my best starting 11.
I don't think he's a bad plan B option, but my whole thing is whoever the manager may be might have this thing where, I don't mind Maguire, he's a nice guy. Let me start him this game. I don't want him to start.
Yeah, because he shouldn't be starting at the Euro. He shouldn't be.
Yeah, he's catching on. He could be like 31, 32. He's just going to get even slower.
Yeah, he's good in certain games, but you just want him for depth.
I'd honestly just let him go. Go get someone brand new from the academy or something. If you want someone English, go buy someone English or British at that. There must be someone.
I want to see more.
Yeah. We're not going to. I guarantee we're only going to see him in the FA Cup. That's the only time. We're not seeing him this season. And he's not going to get trusted because Amram's under huge pressure. So he needs to play he needs to play the seniors, you could say. Shaw should not be here next season. Mount, you know what? I don't like Mount because we paid so much money for him. But he's been all right for a few games. You need to do it for a whole year and stay fit for a whole year. But I don't want him to be our new Luke Shaw. If it was time to cash in on Mount because he's playing well, I'll do it. Get rid of that number 7 as well. You should not be wearing that number 7. If he says, yeah, you know what I'm going to be? I'm going to be number 20 or 22 or wherever he was at Chelsea. And I'm happy to be a bench part player. Mate, you're costing us 200 grand a week to do pretty much standard behavior, you could say. I think you cash in.
But I don't think he's worth the money we paid or the wages. But I think when he stays fit, he's a valuable player. He suits the system.
You need those sort of players in the squad. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. But like, he's not in my best starting 11. I prefer Cunha left 10 and Sesko up top. But I do like what Mount brings, and I can't fault him this season. But like,
I don't think he's been Ahmed. I don't think he's been mega for us. I think he's had 2.5 very good games for his standards, especially against Sunderland. Against Liverpool, I thought his job was more about what can you do for me for the team, rather than are you going to be the difference maker at the back end of the other goal. I think it just worked. The tactics just worked. Him in tight spaces just work. But I want him to do well. We'll see if he does well. But even for the season, he's still got after this season, he'll have 2 years left. I think he might be looking for a new contract, and I don't think United are going to pay what he might want as an extension. He's going to have another one that's going to be like, well, you're on 200 grand, we'll give you 150 grand, and that's it. He has to accept that you're going to be a bit part squad player. They're valuable. You need a lot of them in the squads.
Yeah. Do you know what sucks though? Is because we're not in Europa League. It's like players like Xerxes, I think is a really valuable squad player because he's very technically good.
He's going to leave though, don't you think?
We need Europa League next season to have the squad. Do you know what I mean? To give them all the minutes. Like, Maino not playing is criminal when you consider how bad it is. But with Xerxes, you're like, well, we do have Sesko, Cunha, all these players. So you get it with Xerxes. With Maino, it's criminal. But it's like, we need Europe because we need a big squad because we're Man United. But we're not going to keep everyone happy if we aren't rotating. What do you think happens with Xerxes? Because I look at him and think, you know what? See the job Sesko done against Liverpool. I'll be like, why didn't you play Xerxes instead? Because Xerxes would have done that false 9 role to a T as well. It's probably even better. He doesn't whilst Amram is here, Xerxes is going to get sold. Like he don't rate him. He just don't like that sort of player. If he's going to be in the, let's call it in the 9. Yeah. He'd rather Cunha does what he does because he runs better in behind, or he's got that option of that. And if not, it's going to be obviously Sesko. You just spent all that money on him. Xerxes gone. I don't want Xerxes to go, but I think he's gone in January on loan, and then we'll see what happens in the summer, depending on who the manager is. Yeah, you probably should give him a loan.
But he's gonna want to keep him. He's like, look, he probably thinks, well, I want to win the FA Cup. I need all the options available.
It's
But
not
if you're
fair
not
on Xerxes, but
It's not. But that's the game's the game, innit? But I think he's gone in January. Don't go West Ham though.
my mindset is Maino's too good to not find a way into the squad if there's an injury. Like he's so much better than Agate. I just feel like Maino's too good. Maino won't go in January. I think he will. I just think we'll get to January and Maino is in that starting 11. I just think he's too good. But Xerxes, I don't. Like Maino at least gets 10, 15 minutes here and there. Xerxes ain't even getting off the bench. Like Xerxes.
I don't know what's gonna happen, Mino. You got 20 minutes, 19 minutes to be exact, against Liverpool. And it's like you look at the Brighton game, Casemiro's gonna play, Bruno's gonna play. My thing is just not bringing them on at the correct times at time. Like against Liverpool, before they scored, Bruno should have come off about 60th minute. Mino should have come on to add that bit of security.
Yeah.
For me.
Dalot off, gone to like a back four, Luke Shaw left back, and gone to a midfield three for a bit of control because we lost control of that midfield in the second half. It was
100%.
That was bad.
Curtis Jones brought an energy. I thought, oh shit.
Yeah, once Casemiro came off and Curtis Jones came on, we were atrocious for half an hour. Like I was shocked that we won that game, to be honest, based off that half an hour spell in the second half. But look, Salah couldn't hit a barn door, Isak couldn't score, Cody Gakpo hit the post like 3 times. You know, we won the game, but the second half was like, if Liverpool won this, I would have been shocked.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. We got the 5:30 kickoff. At least we're not the last kickoff this Saturday. At least.
Been last.
Yeah. We're the 5:30. All eyes on Liverpool, I suppose. But I think it's nice to see that I don't know if this has happened yet before. Maybe it has, and I'm just doing that. Oh, what's happened lately, kind of thing. But every fan base is united. I feel like against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Everyone is loving their downfall.
Yeah, but also like people aren't threatened by us. Like Arsenal and City aren't threatened by us, so they want us to be.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right. Yeah.
Like I saw Arsenal fans when Mbeumo scored, like
yeah, troops. Like, it was troops.
Like, that's like what? I don't think I could celebrate an Arsenal goal like that unless it was like, let's say we were in a title race with Liverpool and we're back end of the season when it's 5 or 6 games left and Arsenal beat Liverpool 1-0. Then I'm like, yeah, but I couldn't do it this early in the season. I couldn't be cheering Arsenal.
Anyways, people, make sure you subscribe to Alice if you haven't done so yet. She always redirects to Never a Foul. She's here on a Wednesday. You can see in the title her name's there, so you got no excuses. You don't even have to type it in the chat. Obviously, big up Alice, like with 100k plaques and all that, you know what I'm saying? Just show off and that. But other than that, I'm just gonna go over to Mons. I think Mons is. I don't know why Mons is doing title talk because I'm just saying this. I said it yesterday. If Liverpool's in the title talk challenge, then we are as well.
2 points behind.
Simple as that. It should just be a City fan and an Arsenal fan, and Mons is basically hosting and being quiet. So, but if you want to go there, up to you lot. Gonna redirect there in a bit.